listen to. And in the end of the day, people in your organization, they know that whatever will come out, maybe it will not be exactly what I would say, but because this is so important, I'm putting my name on it. And that's the way it works. Till now, we did not have to do any vote and any psak. Sometimes in the process, like when we want to decide about one element, about direction of tshuva, sometimes we take a vote or in order to decide where to continue. But in the end of the day, everybody is on the psak. And that's a strength. When you have 100, hopefully we'll get to 300 Rabbanim, maybe more. They have psak that is coming on behalf of 170 people. This is what is creating the buzz. And again, affecting the public discourse and public discussion.
How do you decide what topics to take on?
So it's interesting. First of all, at the beginning, we asked people to bring their topics to suggest, and we made a vote, and that's how we prioritize some topics. However, from the coming summer, we will change the system because one of the elements in Bet Hillel is the partnership with the people, with the tzibur, with lay leaders, and something which was missing in the spiritual leadership in Israel, which is very much existing here in America, is a partnership between spiritual leaders and lay leaders. Every community, in order to be successful, has to have this partnership, and if you have a good cooperation, you have good synergy, you have a successful community. In Israel, there was a different culture. It was a more culture of the yeshivot, because the spiritual leadership was mainly a spiritual leadership of Rosh Yeshivot. Today, there's a new generation in Israel of Rabbanei Kilot, like myself. And by the way, Bet Hillel was founded by Rabbanei Kilot, not Rosh Yeshivot. We have Rosh Yeshivot, but the initiators were Rabbanei Kilot because we felt that there's something else that is needed today for the people. Anyways, so in Yeshiva, the Torah comes tops down, but it doesn't work anymore in our world. And what we're trying to create is, and this will start in the summer, a public council of 100 people, key people from the Israeli society, different areas, business, law, press, media, education, the academia, and more, that they will be involved with us, and together will help us to identify the major challenges, to seek for solutions, and to help to spread the voice. And we want to listen to the people, what is crucial for them. So like for the agenda for next year, what will be the topics, this will not be something that we, the Rabbanim, will decide, because there are maybe people that they know more what is really bothering the people. So that will be towards next year about the topics.
But the topics could be any kind of issue. I mean, we're not just talking the interface between halacha or datim or halacha per se. I don't know what else to say. And say the general society. Are we talking about general issues that face Israeli society, social, political, economic, or are we talking more the interface of society and say observant Judaism? In a ritual kind of way.
The idea is to deal with everything which is challenging in our times. We will not deal with a question of how to heat up a soup on Shabbat.
What?
How to heat up soup on Shabbat.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that for this purpose,
Right.
there's no need for Bet Hillel, for Psukim.
But for example, who is a Jew?
What?
Who is a Jew?
Okay, so that
would
is
be a
something that
large
the
society.
ideological Bet Midrash, we have the halachic Bet Midrash and the
Okay.
ideological. Like the ideological Bet Midrash now put together the position statement about women and community, about increasing involvement in
Marriage, citizenship, defining.
yeah. So this will be part of the role and the mandate of the ideological Bet Midrash. But to deal with everything in the Israeli society that is one of the challenges of our time, either halachic challenge or conceptual challenge, and we will have to come up with a clear vision. Yeah, as Chazar saying, "Lo lechem lecha ligmor." We can finish the work in 1 day or 1 year, just existing for a year. But we look at 20 years ahead. Hopefully within 20 years from now, there'll be lots of psakim. And so people who want this would have a clear way and vision to follow, which is the modern orthodoxy per se.
Lahavdil, they could use you in Rome.
Why not?
Charge them at their rate. And shekels.
So I'm interested, only because I think, said similar things and utterly failed to explain it when they came up as to why, somebody says to you, I don't understand why it's obvious that I can't trust Google and make sure that, that I'm following a position by somebody who has some amount of halachic knowledge. It doesn't really, they could be sharper, and let's say that part of the purpose of Beit Hillel is that if you reach any kind of minimum level of knowledge, right, whatever your threshold is, that all voices are equal above that. So why is it wrong for them to say that, in fact, their understanding of a postmodern halachic process is that the scholars write their opinions, and then the lay people Google, and their only decision, the only decision they have to make is which of the positions that reach that threshold they find most congenial to their spiritual sensibility. Why is that an illusion, obviously?
Yeah, I think there's a huge difference, because in the end of the day, if I'm taking like the model of Beit Hillel, even though there's different experience and years behind each and every figure in Beit Hillel, but you create a psak together. It's not one person that says, okay, here are the different opinions, this is what I'm picking for myself. The people are making the decision together, and this is what is generating a healthy system of checks and balances. When you, as a person, as an individual, you don't have the responsibility for the tzibur, for your kila, you have the responsibility just for yourself. And you Google something and you take for yourself some psakim, you're obviously not objective. You would be inclined to find whatever you want to find. And it's a whole different process. What we're trying to do is not to offer different opinions. On the contrary, to offer a way that will help people to climb up. And this is something we did together, therefore it's a whole different process. I don't think there's even a way to compare the Google system and
Okay, well, so I guess the comparison is one issue, and the incorrectness. So that the notion of communal responsibility, I think, is a really interesting formulation. I'm interested in knowing how it resonates with the population that you're trying to appeal to, which is a very individualistic, anti-authority population, and so you're trying to sort of to moderate that by saying that you're a listening approach to the authority is responsive, right?
responsive.
Right. So,
Responsive or attentive. I'll give you an example how to accomplish that. By the way, also the psakim that we give, it's not a psakim that these are the instructions and this is what you need to do. The idea of the psakim that they will create a discussion about this issue. We don't want people to blindly follow the psak. We want people to try to think and to learn and to realize. But even more so, we have one of the tools we are using to make the change is the social networks. It's been proven in our world that the most effective way to make a change in the discussion is to be strong in the social networks. I'll give you an example. Bennett, did anyone here ever heard about Bennett before the elections? How come he became such a superstar in one day? Any clue? The answer? Social networks. For 3 years, he built together with Ayelet Shaked the biggest social network in Israel, called My Israel. Right wing, not political, but very Zionist teaching for values, they have more than 100,000 of likes. The day he decided to become a public figure, you just press the button, you are there. That's the way it works. It's amazing. Like, we don't even realize the power sought in the Arab Spring in many places. By the way, we hired the person who built a page of Bennett, so he's now building our page of Bethilel. But anyways, I'm mentioning that because we opened the first response of the first shoot, the first Facebook shoot in the world. And what is the idea of a Facebook shoot? In all the shooting, all the responses, you have a very clear process. You have the question, you have the answer, the responder is giving the answer, and that's the end of the discussion. People can give comments afterwards, but that's the end of the discussion. If you know Facebook is a tool that by definition there's a discussion. So there are initiators. The asker is initiating a question, there's a responder, a Rav who is responding, but from there, there's a discussion that the Beit Midrash is being open to people. People are keeping questioning, and other Rabbanim, or maybe Rabbaniyot, not necessarily the people who originally answered, are also getting into the discussion. So in a sense, you're making the halacha more accessible for the people to see the process. You open the gates of Beit Midrash, and if you have 10,000, 50,000 people on your network, on your Facebook page, every discussion, they listen, they hear, some of them get involved. And this brings the halacha closer to them. We're not coming from the top, from the ivory tower, and tell people, this is what you need to do. On the contrary, we show them, come and see. This will gain trust, and will bring back more trust in the world of
I mean, the Facebook and the social media, the chat rooms are the mechanism, but truly you need Rabbi and Talmidei Chachamim to be part of the discussion, to lead the discussion, right? Whether it's in a real room or a virtual room,
Yeah.
and not feel like their tshuva is the end all be all, or is the final say. So
100%. So we are training the Rabbanim. We have, in that sense, we have an advantage because most of the other Rabbanim are far behind and they're against Facebook or whatever. So we are, in that sense, it's a barren land that we can come and occupy and make this the major channel for Judaism in social networks. But we are training the Rabbanim. We're training the Rabbanim. We have now a group of at least 30 Rabbanim Rabbaniyot that are active. And in our page, they have their own pages, so it's definitely part of this.
What's your page?
You have it here on the. It's b.hillel, Hillel.
We'll give these out afterwards.
Yeah, you can take the publications and.
What's your long-term vision of Israel diaspora? The relationship between Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz in terms of halacha.
I'll tell you two things. On one hand, the world today is it's a small global village. And by the way, we saw it even with the Psukim Beit Hillel. Each one of them was discussed also all across the world. There's definitely a need and necessity to have stronger cooperation and discussion between Rabbanim in Israel and Chutz La'aretz, 100%. At the very same time, we need to remember, and we've seen this in different conferences, that sometimes there are different challenges. And there are different challenges, and we must keep this freedom. That's why we have Mar Diatra. You have the Rav that understands his community, the background. This is something that must be maintained. So there must be more cooperation, and today it's very easy to do this. But we need to remember that in the end of the day, each place is different. I think that's a vision. I believe, and we have many Rabbanim, and you're obviously welcome, that are connected also to our Google listserv and being part of this discussion. But I believe that one day maybe we'll be able to establish a global movement of Rabbanim. Yeah, keeping the special identity of each and every country, each and every place, but yeah, having discussions together, which will be enriching and will definitely have an impact, empowering impact on the society. Thank you for the zchut. It's not about the country, it's about the quality. So experience for me. Good questions. And יישר כוח to the Rav and Rav Klapper for organizing, and hopefully we'll see you in the future. You should come to Ra'anana at least to visit. That's a place in Israel.